Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey Cranford and I'm back again with Matt MacConnell. We're doing this series on the rules of golf and does it have any parallels in the spiritual life. Now Matt, I know that we have a place in golf where it's kind of self-governing in some ways. We do it because of the spirit of game. Some people can do it because they have a conscience. But I know we have a friend of ours, Ben Crane, and there's a particular thing that happened to him. Nothing could have, anybody could have violated this and not told, and nobody would have ever known, and yet tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think one of the unique parts about the game of golf, Jeff, as we all know, one of the reasons we love the game is in many ways it's self-governing.
Very much.
Almost all penalties are called by yourself
Right.
and on yourself, and last year Ben, who's a dear friend, was coming to the end of the season, needed to make a certain amount of money to keep his card, playing in his last event, playing very well, and noticed on the second tee box that he had a small dot about the size of a pinhead. It was a sticker from a flight simulator that he had used the day before, and brought this to the attention of a rules official. He had played with it, teed off with it on a couple holes, and ended up having to disqualify himself from this tournament because he had violated the rules. The easy thing would have been just to pick the sticker off and put it in his pocket.
Sure.
Nobody would have known.
Sure. Now that does not, I'll just tell you, that does not happen. We're right in the middle of the NBA playoffs. That does not happen in the NBA. If you can hit a guy, punch a guy, whatever it is, and get away with it, then you do it. There's no, hey, I fouled that guy, and everybody's complaining about every call. There's something truly different about golf, and it, again, like you said, because it's so self-regulating. Then there's a spiritual analog to that too. There are many things that nobody's going to find out about, and yet you do them because of one thing. You do it because you love the Creator. We've talked a lot about rules and what we're obligated to and what's necessary, and it feels like just some kind of rote religion at times. And yet when we're motivated by love and the desire to obey God, let me tell you something, friends, that's when you move from a place of immaturity to growing maturity. You're doing things, some people have said, what is the test of character? What you do when no one's looking. And that's because it's between you and God. You love God, you want to honor God, you want to obey Him, and you want Him to say, this is you want to hear in some ways in your own spirit what Jesus heard during His baptism, this is my Son in whom I am well pleased. To just that, when that becomes a motivator, and I'll tell you too, I think you would agree, wouldn't you say that's what Ben's ultimate motivation was, even above the love of the game?
100%.
To say because he knows he's living in some ways for an audience of one. So there's rules, there's laws, there's boundaries and all this, but a much higher motivation is the motivation of love, and when that becomes your motivator, then all things begin to fall in line, and rules are become, in a sense, unnecessary at that point.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I hope this is helpful. We've got another segment or two here for you in the next weeks, and we hope you'll tune in. Have a great week.